Hi, welcome to another episode of Free Flow. And today we'll be talking about the book Linchpin, chapter 2.
Yes, chapter 2. So what's the title of chapter 2? Thinking about your choice. Can you become indispensable?
Thinking about your choice.
Yeah.
Can you become indispensable? I think that's a very good question. That's a very good statement. Like, you gotta think about whether it's a mindset thing. I feel like it's a mindset thing.
I feel like we should all ask this question to ourselves before we talk about the book. Do you believe you can be indispensable?
Do you believe? So it's a belief system.
Yeah. If you think you can, then you can. If you think you are dispensable, then you are. Everything you do will be dispensable.
Okay, yeah. In sports, we talk about having mindset. I think in anything in general, we talk about having the mindset of what do you call it? If you believe, then you're halfway there. If you don't have that belief that you can do it,
Yeah.
then it's gonna be really hard.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's more of a faith or intention.
Faith or intention. So your starting point has to be right. And in this case, your starting point is that, alright, I have to be indispensable. So you know what you want, and then you can work towards.
I think it's not you have to. I think it's I can be and I am. Because have to means it's something like a responsibility to you. Not something it's already rooted inside you.
But this is can you become?
Yeah, so it's I can, but not I have to.
Okay, yeah. Is it possible that it's just answering the question, is it possible?
Yeah.
And you have to say yes to that, and I think that's really important. Teaching remarkable. That's the next point. What does teaching remarkable means?
Is it means that the teachers teach an incredible job to the students, or is it how to teach remarkable people?
No, how to teach people to be remarkable. So yeah, teaching remarkable. You can't just be normal. You gotta teach remarkable. Like I have to believe in your potential, right? And I say, well, you're remarkable.
Yeah.
Right? You have to be remarkable.
Yes.
If you want to be indispensable, you have to be remarkable. You can't just be. Does it make sense?
I feel like it's the way of a teacher to encourage the students to think remarkably and to be creative. So we're not just following the rules. We jump outside the system to think what we are learning at the moment. Because when you walk into the school and you look in the classroom, the students are just sitting there, look at the teachers. Their brain is blank. They're just being brainwashed of what the teacher are saying at the moment.
But it's the same with this, isn't it?
What do you mean?
So you're brainwashing the students to be remarkable. That means at every chance you gotta tell them to believe in something bigger. Right?
Yeah.
So it's like thinking big. If I am the teacher, I have to teach my students to think out of the box, think out of this system, which is remarkable outside of it. And then I have to believe in that. Oh, this is possible. Everything like that is possible. It's just big. Does it make sense? Like it's remarkable.
Yes.
Believe the impossible, achieve the impossible. That's what we have to tell the kids. This is what we have to tell the students. It's like, don't just think that you can get this. like 100 points in the school system is just 100 points. You have to think out of that. You can get more than 100 points, right? If you can, then people is like, oh, it's impossible. It's only 100 out of 100. Yeah, that's what the school system teaches you.
Yeah.
But once you take that framework out, then it's like, oh, you know, life is not just about 100%. Life is not just about the 100 points. Life is more. Life is, boom, so much more.
Yeah. So it's like Einstein, he fucked up at school, right?
Einstein is dyslexic.
Yeah, so it's like he fucked up at school. He cannot read or write, is it?
I think that's what it is, yeah.
Yeah, but he's one of the best scientists
So the most,
in the 20th century.
Yeah,
But he fucked up at school. The school.
I don't think it's, yeah. Sorry, you go.
I think the school system doesn't see his value because he cannot read or write. Yeah, but he's a remarkable scientist.
That's really interesting because I've seen a video, I read a story about him, which says that he spent a lot of time just noticing things, being observant.
Yeah.
He's not just studying for the sake of studying, but he's curious about how the world works. And there was once I think he was working in a post office at some point.
Yeah.
You know, staring into space at something, a fly or whatever, and he came up with this incredible equation. Might not be him. I'm not very sure. But might be another person. But you know, it shows that you don't have to be good at school to be a genius.
Yeah.
You just have to really think and be remarkable.
Yeah. And find where your talent is. I watched another movie. I need to search his name. It's one of the most popular Indian star.
Indian star.
Yeah, Indian actor. What's that? I need to search because. So his name is Amir Khan. Amir Khan. Do you know him? Yeah.
I've heard about him.
Yeah, so his movie is more about to bring the issue in India into the movie so people can see that. And one of that is because if you go to India and you ask what do they want to do, they will tell you they want to be engineer.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, Australia and every Indian I ask, most of them they study either IT or engineering. But there's a movie, there was a kid inside. He cannot read, he cannot write. So every alphabet for him is just like picture.
I see.
Then he suffered quite a lot because in Indian education system, you need to get good score, which promise your future as well. So he gets sent to a private school, which he gets scolded a lot. Then the teacher found he has a talent for drawing. Yeah, that's when he become the linchpin at that school.
Are you sure it's considered linchpin?
I think it's something that I don't know if it's considered linchpin or not. But I think the teacher is the linchpin there at that school because he found what he can do. He's not just asking him to follow the rules. That's how I feel. Teaching remarkable.
Okay. Okay, cool. Interesting point of view, perspective.
I can find
So the next one is called If You Want, ...
Yeah.
Also the mentality of whether you want to become something. It's not just, because you have to, I feel like this chapter is all about mentality and mindsets of individual. So the
Yeah.
first one is that can you become indispensable?
Yeah.
Right? Can you become indispensable? The second one is teaching remarkable. Right? So you gotta teach people to be remarkable. You gotta teach yourself to be remarkable. And then the third one is if you want. What does that mean? Like if you want a job where it's okay to follow the rules, don't be surprised if you get a job where following the rules is all you get to do. Does that make sense? Like if you don't want to use your brain to think about things, then you gotta follow rules. If not, then you gotta make up your own rules and do it your way.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
On the same page?
Yes. So do you want a brainless job, or you want something that you feel like you can devote yourself more?
I feel like at the moment, because I'm trying to run my own classes and business, I don't want to be following other people's curriculum. Like I'm a high school teacher by training. I've done my diploma of education, but I haven't taught in a school because I didn't like to have rules. I don't like to follow rules.
I thought you did when you did your placement.
Huh?
Before you graduate.
I like to learn the structure, the system. I like to learn how people have been teaching, like the pedagogy, what kind of things I need to be teaching, what kind of values, how they do it, all the structure. They're giving you the tools.
Yeah.
So when I'm doing university, I am learning about the tools, right? The tools to teach, the tools to manage, the tools to do administration, so on and so forth, right? And to find progressions. But when I got out, I realized that, hey, you know what? In these organizations, usually you have to follow rules. And for me, at that point of time, I just
You're
can't.
a rebeller.
Not rebellious, but I just want to teach whatever I want to teach.
Yeah.
Even right now, I understand that in every organization, it's good to follow some rules.
Yeah.
And then you can start to implement your own rules. You know, you learn their structure, learn your own thing. But I guess for me, that's not really a big thing. Like I want to be coming up with my own rules.
So you want those things to just be a reference,
Yes, that's a reference.
and it's not like a cage for you.
No.
Okay,
No.
I see.
So I can do whatever I want, teach whatever I want. What about you?
I think for me, it's sometimes I will have that open mind. Okay, so that's what they do. I will just follow them first. But then after a while, I will feel bored. Then I'll think, okay, so what can I add into these things? It's almost like I take someone's things to myself and play for a while until I'm very skillful. And then I'll be like, okay, so I'm done with this. What can I do next? So I'm not like you can jump very fast. Mine is more okay.
What do you mean I can jump very fast?
So when you play something, right, and then you'll be like, okay, I get it. Then you just want next. For me, it's like, it's a big system. I want to know more. And I just keep going.
Deeper and deeper.
Deeper. And then...
Mine is more on the surface. Like I get things very quick.
Yeah.
But then there's still a lot more that I haven't got.
Yeah.
And then I move on to the next thing.
I was like that before. But then I just realized, I never think about why people do this. Why they put all these things together. What the logic behind it. Then I'm like, okay, then I'll stay in the system for a while. See how it goes. There will be some pros and cons. If I see all of them, then I learn from that.
I think the way that I'm doing is slightly different. Like I like to explore the easy stuff first, and then be able to cross-reference all the easy things. But let's say, okay, these easy things. Because I don't have the patience to finish. I don't have the patience to follow through. So I'll just do the top, the easy ones first. And then I'll do a lot of these easy ones. Then together I find something that's similar. I find a very common thing that I have in all this very simple stuff.
Yeah.
Once I get that, the concept of the simple stuff is very easy to me. Okay, then I'll keep it. That's when I get more of the, I want to know a bit more about the next level. Then I go to the next level. And then see the system and see if that will correlate with the first thing. The core of it, the gist of it.
I see.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So with regards to like organization and everything else, it's slightly different. It's not something that I have gone deep into. Maybe mine is going in the different route. Mine is just exploring the simplest things here. Many of this.
Yeah.
And then your route is just one thing and then going deeper. So we're going in different directions.
I think mine is more like I will have one thing going deep, but I will check it with something else. So it's like one is going down, but I will just keep branching out. So to check if this system is related to other systems as well. But I may not want to go deep in every rabbit hole.
Alright, fair enough.
Because there's so many holes to jump in and every hole is so big. I don't have that time to jump in every hole to dig everything out.
So
which I want, but I don't have. Yeah.
Okay, so has it got anything to do with this this thing if you want? If you want a job where you don't have to be creative because the company's cost structure is so aggressive, the customers just materialize. Don't be surprised if low cost structure costs your job. Blah blah blah.
So does it just mean that if you don't be creative, then it's just a low cost?
Well, a lot of this is saying that I feel like it's more trusting yourself, your abilities to do things. Like if you want a job where you don't have to take risk, then just be happy staying at that level.
Yeah.
But if you want to take the risk and using your own mental thing, then it's like, okay, I'm gonna take this risk to say this thing, to do this thing, to implement this thing.
Yeah.
It's like there's a few levels of commitments, right? In an organization, there's always people that are following.
Yeah.
And if you want to rise above, you want to take more risks doing things that are higher, you gotta do it.
Yeah.
And then you gotta do more, you gotta do more, you gotta do more. And if you are happy not taking risks doing all this decision making, then you're gonna know, right? That's all you get, you're going to stay here.
True.
So if you want, you have
Yeah.
to do more.
Yeah.
Okay, next. Limited or unlimited. You can see your marketplace as being limited, a zero-sum game, a place where in order for one person to win, another must lose. Or you can see it as unlimited, a place where talent creates growth and the market increases in size.
That's a very big topic. Limit or unlimited?
I see, this is really interesting.
Yeah.
It's talking about abundance as well.
Let me see.
So I feel like limited means that, let's say competition, in terms of competition, I'm competing with someone else.
Yeah.
There's one, I'll win and the other person will lose. But why not we collaborate? Right, I have my own talents, right? I'll do things that I'm good at and another person will do things that I'm good at. But we're not, there's no
conflict.
Yeah, there's no conflict. It doesn't have to be a conflict. Because I have my own talent, so I set up something that will support yours, and yours will support, and then talent grows talent.
So that means the market is unlimited. If you see the market as limited, then the competition starts.
Yeah.
If it's unlimited, then you collaborate, you expand the market.
Exactly.
I see.
And then everyone can start supporting each other. In terms of talent as well. I feel like that's what it's talking about. Yeah.
That's
Alright.
very interesting. Next one. Will you still be loved? Oh, I think that's a question that everyone will think about.
Will you still be loved?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I become a linchpin, will I still be loved?
If you make difficult
Situation for the boss. for your
Take
company.
decisions and yeah, will you still be loved? I think if your decisions is good and you trust yourself, mainly you gotta love yourself. And then if you see that it's good for others, then you just gotta believe in that.
Yeah, you probably won't be loved by people who want you to be obedient, but you will be loved by some other people. They like you to be creative.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, but the most important thing is you love yourself enough. You trust that's what you want.
That's the process.
Yeah.
I see. I think doesn't matter what decisions you make,
Yeah.
people will still hate you or people will still love you.
Yeah.
So then you have to kind of push through that.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean you always make good decisions, but you're trying to break something, to break through, and to create something.
I remember once when I was doing national service, I wanted to change the whole system. At that point of time, we were doing 2 years of national service, and there was already a system in place by one of my superiors. She was letting all the more experienced people do less work because they are going to what's that called, ORD. They're gonna get out of the national service soon.
Okay.
So when they first get in, they do a lot, and then before they go, they do less. But for me to come in to say, actually, you know what, we can change this system where everyone is doing equal amount of work, whether or not you're old or new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So a lot of people hate me for it because at the start, it's like, what? I've done so much at the start, now you change the system, it's not fair, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, well, then, like it's a tradition, right? You're changing tradition, everyone's gonna be fucked up.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna hate at me.
Yeah.
But at that point of time, I felt like, well, that was a good thing to do.
Yeah.
But in hindsight, it's true though, for them, the older people always kind of do less.
Yeah.
Because they are more experienced, you can give them maybe they have to do more. In terms of a different job scope.
Yeah.
Maybe they can be more supervising than more hard work.
Do they need to take responsibilities more than the newbies?
I would expect them to be able to handle more stuff already because they've got experience. But at that point of time, I wasn't experienced in doing that.
Yeah.
So then to come in and change the whole system on my own, it's like, will I still be loved?
It's just
No,
an experiment.
Yeah, it's just an experiment for me. Because to try what? I mean, I want to try new things. So
I see. Interesting.
anyway,
I think the system is changing all over the world now. From the Brexit, you see.
you first gotta. But when I first got in, I have to try and understand why this system is this way, which I didn't. So it's like, okay. Anyway, special circumstances. It's easy to argue that this genius stuff is for other people, not you. Those other people have gifts or genes or education or background or connections. It's easy to fool yourself into believing that genius works for them, but it won't work for you. Okay, cool.
That was
Interesting.
say that every boss wants you to believe that you are not a genius. Which I think I don't know.
I think it's just you have to believe there's a genius within yourself,
Yeah.
and you can't really compare with others.
Yeah.
If someone's a genius, I would just say, "Wow, that's cool."
Yeah.
But then I have my own genius as well. It's self-believing, self-limiting belief.
Yeah, just don't believe that your genius is the same as others.
Someone else's.
Yeah, you have your own. You just
Well,
need to find it.
True. Well, the next one is quite interesting. It's called You Can't.
What
At the age of 4, you were an artist. At 7, you were a poet. And by the time you were 12, if you had a lemonade stand, you were an entrepreneur. Of course, if you can do something that matters, I guess I'm wondering if you want to. There may be a voice in your head that's ready to announce that you can't possibly do what I'm describing. You don't have what it takes. You're not smart enough or trained enough or gifted enough to pull this off. Yeah.
I see.
Like, can you or can you not? Like, there's always something that says you can't do this, you can't do this.
Yeah.
But once you let that thought get in your head,
So it's come back into a belief system again.
yeah. So I think this whole chapter is talking about a lot of this belief system.
The mindset.
That's
part.
right. Like, yeah, you can believe that you can't, then you can't. But if you believe you can,
then you can.
No.
Yeah.
The new American dream. Blah 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 blah.
I think it's also about to be creative.
I think.
Yeah.
The old American dream is keep your head down, follow instructions, show up on time, work hard, suck it up. And the new one is be remarkable, be generous, create art, make judgment calls, connect people and ideas.
I remember the other day we went to the cafe in Aruba, and it's quite a famous one, so a lot of people. But when you drink the coffee, and you're like, wow, this coffee was so bad. They use the beans, which I think the same as the other cafe we went to.
Okay, so they're using a good coffee bean, but the way they produced, the way they made the coffee was bad.
Yeah, and you were like, no, I cannot. I need to tell them that. You just want to let them know that you spoil the bean.
It doesn't help because I know I've worked in a cafe before. I know that during peak hour the coffee standard will drop.
Yeah.
Because they're pumping out a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And then to be able to know how the coffee tastes like, great. And I don't even have to know that how it tastes like great. I just have to know that this isn't good coffee.
Yeah.
They advertise these beans, but it's not good coffee that I'm drinking.
Yes.
Yep. So how's that going to do with this?
Because it's actually good to remind them, because most of us will just, never mind, they're just so busy. But if you remind them, then they will notice that. It actually helps them to improve
I see.
their business.
So I'm not coming from a place of malice. I'm coming from a place where, hey guys, you know what? I know it's busy, but the coffee is not up to standard.
Yeah.
What would make you impossibly good at your job? You know, think about what. So this is more getting knowledge. Okay. Not my job. The next thing, not my job. I love this. I love this concept. 3 words can kill an entire organization. It's not my job.
Yes.
You know, they have a really good example of what not my job means. One of it is the bathroom in New York's museum. So if it's not the janitor's, it's the janitor's job to empty the can as often as possible. But who has a job of installing a second one? Do you know what I mean? Like if there's a lot of people coming in and out, there'll be a lot of trash.
Yeah.
It's the janitor's job to go clear all the time.
Yeah.
Right? But can the janitor, that's what he do. That's what the janitor does, right? He follows rules.
Yeah.
But can they go and tell people to say, you know what, things are getting really messy. Is it possible for us to install more trash bins? Maybe 2 trash cans per place, so that once I've done 1 round, you know, when I come back a second round, the trash is not all over the floor. It's not all over the place. So making a decision like that improves the workflow.
Yeah.
Right? They don't have to do it. They can just be going, oh, it's not my job. I don't need to do this shit. Or they could be, you know what? I think it's better to do this.
So it's more like you are making, or you are suggesting something to make things work better. It may not be your job to do this decision, but you are.
No, I mean it links to the first few points, right? It's you have to think remarkable, and then if you want, right? If you want a job where it's following rules, you just follow rules.
Yeah.
If you want more pay, then you gotta use your internal genius to make decisions. If I start off as a janitor, yeah, I can work from there, and if I want to stay there, I can just stay there. But if I want more, then I have to take initiative to come up with better solutions, to notice more.
Yes.
Not everyone does that, right? But if you know and then you do it, then it will bring you higher.
Yes.
Yeah.
I see. Interesting.
Yeah.
What else do we have? Oh.
Well, there's a few things like more obedience, secret memos for employees, secret memo for employers, and there is no time for dumb tools. From what I've read, it's all talking about who is doing what in an organization.
Yeah.
Alright, so more obedience. If you, I feel like it's the same with before. If you want to follow rules, you gotta be obedient, right? And if you're more obedient, then you're just gonna do that.
Yeah.
You can't go up.
You may get promoted, but
You might not even get promoted. You don't need
True.
to. You don't need to, because
Yeah.
you're just doing stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so it's just explaining to us what kind of employees are going to be linchpins.
Yeah.
It's indispensable. And secret memo for employers, which is if you want your company to do well, to be remarkable, right? You think remarkable, then you gotta create an environment where you groom all your employees to be linchpins, all your employees to be remarkable as well, to be able to nurture them. You know, there's a saying that true leaders groom other people to be leaders.
Yeah.
Not just lead, because you don't want to be leading all the time. You want everyone to be
leading some part of
exactly
the company.
Exactly, and I think this is what this part is trying to say.
I feel like there are more and more companies are like Ubers, all these new companies. They like to hire people who is very motivated, creative. They like to come up with new ideas, new project to work on. Although it may not be successful, but they like it. They are willing to spend some money on that.
So it's a bit like R&D, research and development.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Okay, there is no time for dumb tools. So this is talking about the same thing. The last few points, I feel like it's pretty much the same thing. Where the whole chapter is talking about your choice, your decisions, where your starting point is, where you can go, and if you want to make more decisions, choices, then you become more valuable to the structure of the organization. And for the employers to also groom their employees to be valuable. So the whole value of the organization grows. It's not just the boss grows, but everyone grows together.
Yes.
I like that. I really like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea to think about what our or your position now in your job or in wherever you are, and what can you do to become a linchpin, or do you want to be a linchpin, or you just want to
Chill.
go home and chill? That's not my job. Thank you.
I like this. I like this chapter as well. Talking about mindset, because really, what makes someone want to get better or become indispensable starts from here.
Yeah.
And that's what I really like about that chapter.
Nice.
Do you have anything you want to add on?
No, I don't think so.
Cool. Alright, so that concludes the second chapter of Linchpin. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.